And then there are some dynamic tests like clomiphene citrate challenge test, exogenous FSH and GnRH antagonist testing tests. So these are the exogenous hormones which are given and ovaries tested whether it is ovulating or not. Then we can also test for the uterine cause of infertility by doing an ultrasound, by actually putting a camera inside the uterus called as hysteroscopy, and by putting a dye inside the uterus and taking an X-ray, that is called as hysterosalpingography. We can also assess the tubal patency with the help of hysterosalpingography, because when you push the dye from below and it spills, it shows that the tubes are patent. We can do a fluoroscopic tubal cannulation. Under hysteroscopic guidance, we can actually cannulate the tube with the help of the Cook's tubal cannulation catheter and insert the methylene blue dye inside the fallopian tube and check the spill laparoscopically. And we can also do a chromopertubation. Chromo stands for dye and tubation stands for the fallopian tube. So putting a dye inside the fallopian tube is called as chromopertubation. This is measurement of the body temperature. So if this is a very crude method, this was done in very old time. So just before getting out of bed, if there is a rise in the basal body temperature from day 10 of period, so the day there is rise means that day the progesterone has come. Now this is how the progesterone levels look like. Okay, so there is a rise in the progesterone levels at around the day 21. Okay, and this plateaus at around day 21. So if they are high, more than 20, they suggest that it is around 20-21. That means it is ovulation has happened. Now coming to the transvaginal ultrasound, we can actually look at the growing Raafian follicle and the ovary. Then this is endometrial biopsy. This we can just scrape a bit of the uterine tissue, and delayed endometrial maturation from inadequate P4 production is called as the delayed window of implantation. So endometrium may be falling behind 2 days because corpus luteum is not secreting enough progesterone, or luteal phase defects can also be diagnosed with the help of endometrial biopsy. So this is called as histological dating of endometrial, and it has been used for evaluation of corpus luteum function. However, a single biopsy is not sufficient. So histological dating is not a good diagnostic tool. Now we have moved on to ERA, or we are now doing a genetic analysis of the molecules that are expressed in the endometrium during its window of implantation. That is called as endometrial receptivity assay.